Hi everybody, my name is Kelsey and we're about to get very, very nerdy with my May TBR. That was terrible. I was trying to rotate it so you could see the book pen. Alright, let's try that again. Hi everybody, my name is Kelsey and we're about to get very, very nerdy with my May TBR. So I'm recovering from an allergy cold concoction, let's say. So ignore any weirdness that I sound like, because I sound really strange to myself. So we're all aware that I am very aware. So in May, I'm excited for May. It's a brand new month. I always get excited when we have brand new months. I've got some things that I really want to get to this month. I don't have anything crazy going on. Like April was ridiculously insane, like just personally, and like it was one of the busiest like times at work for me. I just did not have a lot of free time. We also like had things every single weekend, and so it was just really busy and my reading time was not a lot. And then we also had a readathon on top of that. In May, I don't have any readathons that I'm planning on participating in, so that's exciting. I do have some vlog plans. Well, I have a vlog. I'd like to do another episode of the 30 Before 30 series that I've been reading or doing, since it's literally the last month that I can fit it in, since my birthday is in June. So I'd like to get another one of those in. So I'm hoping to get those books on this TBR somewhere. If we can make it, that'd be great. Otherwise, normal things. I've got a book club I need to get on. I'm sure some buddy reads that I've forgotten about, and we haven't decided what book we're doing for things yet, so those will be added on as well. But as far as the TBR, this should be a much chiller month. Hopefully. I say this, watch the TBR be incredibly mean to me. Either way, before we dive into what are the May picks, let's take a look and see how I did in April. The first pick for April was Husband Pick, and he chose The Violent Conspiracy by Brendan Slocum. You're going to read a hardcover. I think I originally had Anna O for this one, but I changed it to Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. A book with royalty included, we had The 13th Child by Aaron A. Craig. Read a book that's the shortest on your TBR. Goodreads said that was Sex Ed 120%, the first volume of that. Recommended book is I Did the Last Dragon by Scott Rainton. I do still own this book. It's just in my daughter's room, and she's taking a nap, and we're not interrupting that if my life depends on it. We had Free Read, which I chose my Lorraine Heath buddy read, which is The Return of the Duke. A book that comes out this month, aka April, I chose Swept Away by Beth O'Leary. And the final book is Read a Book You Don't Know Much About, which I chose Tell No One by Harlan Coben, because that was our buddy read, or a book club. So, this is where it gets weird. So the thing that I didn't finish, okay, we have Throne of the Fallen. I haven't finished that one. I haven't finished this manga. I haven't finished Return of the Duke, and I haven't finished Swept Away. But I'm actively reading all of those. So I'm going to say this counts, and I do get a reward for next month in the form of basically if there's a prompt that just doesn't work for me, I can just wipe the slate clean and choose whatever I want, because I'm in the middle of these. I'm about halfway through this one, but I'm going to finish this in the next few days because it's a buddy read. I'm about halfway through this one. It's a manga. I'll get to it really, really quickly. I am very close to the end of this one. And Swept Away, I don't know how close I am. I think I'm probably about 30% of the way through that book, but I've been reading it over the course of a little bit. So even though I'm not as actively reading that one as I am these, still going to count it. So the moral of the story is I do get a reward if I want to use it in my May picks. That's the wrap up. Let's just dive into the first pick for May and just see what happens. Pick number 1. Read a Tome, a book that is over 450 pages. The first pick is read a book that is over 450 pages, aka a tome. So for this one, I'm going to be choosing Jade City. This is the first book in the Green Bone Saga by Fonda Lee. This is part of that 30 Before 30 series that I want to do. I don't know a lot about it. I do have the first I know it's a trilogy, and I want to say I have all of them on Audible, but I might only have the first two. I can't remember, but I have them because I got them in like a deal where they were like selling the entire series for incredibly cheap. So I have this. I don't know a lot about it. I know that it's like rival gangs, it's a fantasy, and like Jade is like a a drug maybe, or like this thing that is coveted. I honestly don't know a lot about it. I've heard good things, which is why it's on this list. It's really like a hyped book, I'd say, but I've heard good things. The cover says family is duty, magic is power, honor is everything. So there's elements to this series or to this story that I've enjoyed in other books. So I'm really excited to give it a try. It sounds really good. I don't know anything about it. This is what I've chosen. Oh, I chose it because I think I looked it up, and the paperback is like over 500 pages, and the Kindle version, which is probably what I will be listening or reading along with, is over 500 pages as well, I think. So either way, I'm covered in this one. Number 2. Oh, tiny. Read a book that includes smut. The next one is to read a book that includes smut in some way. I had it written as read a smut, but I've kind of changed it in my mind to just any book that includes smut. So it kind of just like could be a blanket statement for romance. But either way, the one that I've chosen for this, I'm pretty sure would be considered a smut book, and that is The Deal by L. Kennedy. This is the first in the off-campus series. I downloaded this Kindle book. Oh my god, so long ago. I've had this on my Kindle for a while. Probably, I think this was indie published and then has now been traditionally published. I think I might be wrong about that. There's new covers, which makes me think that it's been like the publishing has changed in some way. But I didn't know a lot about it. It sounded fun and cute. I picked it up. It's now incredibly popular. So I, again, don't know a whole lot about it. I know it's a romance. It's a hockey romance specifically. It takes place on a college campus. So it is that kind of new adult range as far as ages go. So that's kind of why I picked it up originally, was because it was the first book that I'd seen that kind of, or one of the first 2 books that I'd seen that kind of fell in that like college age, and I wanted to see what that was all about. It's obviously about a deal. We follow our 2 main characters. One is named Garrett, and one is named Hannah. And Hannah has a crush on this guy and really wants him. And Garrett is like struggling, like with his grades and stuff. And so they create this deal where like she's going to help him, which will I think keep his position on the team, and he will pretend to date her in order to make this guy jealous. Obviously, fake dating, one of my favorite tropes, but of course it's not going to go exactly as planned because it never does. So I'm excited to see about this one because like I know a lot of people who have very similar tastes as me really like this book. I've seen people who don't have similar tastes. Like it's one of those books that like I've seen a wide range of opinions on it. So I want to know what mine is. So I'm excited to pick it up. I don't think this will be like a hard one. I'll probably just stick it in between some of the more denser fantasies that I have this month. It seems like it's just going to be a really quick in and out kind of smutty, guilty pleasure, if you will, story. I'm excited to see. I think there's way more to it. I've heard from Beck in the Books talking about it, and I feel like there's a lot more to their backstories. So I'm excited to see what that's about. But that is the one that I've chosen for this prompt. Number 3. Read a book that you're scared to read. The next one is a book that you are terrified or scared to read. So I did know what to choose for this one. Kind of went down a rabbit hole. I did finally remember that I made a video like about this time last year about books that I was terrified to read. So I went and I looked at that one. There's really some I've read, some I wouldn't maybe categorize as terrifying anymore. But there's one that for sure is like the top of that one, which would be the 3rd book in the Crescent City series. I should have grabbed this before I started the video, but that one is The House of Flame and Shadow. Now, I'm not going to read this month. So I'm going to use my reward to kind of like kick this prompt to be whatever I want. But like this book, I'm very excited about. I definitely want to get to. It's very chunky, which is not necessarily one of the reasons I'm terrified to read it, because all of her Crescent City books have been chunky. This one's like the chunkiest, so it's quite large. It is 830 something pages. And for me, 835. For me, I would need to dedicate time to this. I would need to really go through this. I could start it this month, but this seems like a book that's going to take me a couple of months to get through because I want to dedicate the time to it. I want to dive in. And while her writing is very easy for me to like flip through and like get through rather quickly, just because now we've introduced some new situations in this book. And also I'm pretty sure this is the final book, at least in this arc. I think this series may be doing something similar to what the ACOTAR series is doing, where like there's the main three, and then anything after is just kind of like one-offs in the world a little bit. I have no proof of this. That's just my theory. But this one feels, based on what I've heard, this is like the final book, at least for this arc. So we will be getting the end to some things, which is nice. But like this, I just know I'm going to need to like give it brain power, and I don't have the time. So that'll be maybe a summer book. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sit in a little bit of manga, which is the third volume of Cherry Magic. I read the second one last month, and I've kind of dived back into this world again. I really enjoyed the first one. I picked up the second one, and I meant to read it like right away, and I just never got around to it. I finally read it in April, and it was very well, like I love these characters again, so I want to keep going. I want that momentum to keep going. So I found a copy of this at my library. So we'll see. The first one was so good, and the second one was not as good as the first one, but I still am really enjoying the series, so I'm going to not buy it unless this one kind of picks back up in the I love it again realm. But I'm still really excited about it. I love this series. It follows these two guys. One of them, the main character's name is Adachi. He turns 30, and he is still a virgin. And basically in this world, if you're a virgin, you turn 30, you all of a sudden can read people's thoughts. Now, you don't know this until it happens to you, but this happens to Adachi, and he accidentally bumps into this guy, Kurosawa, at work. He works with him. He's never really like thought anything of it, and he reads this guy's mind and discovers that this guy has a huge crush on him. He's like, what does this mean? And so it's making him kind of rethink his own thoughts. Does he like this guy? Does he not? Does he like guys? What's going on? So it was really cute to see. The first one was so good. So I'm excited to dive into the third one with this one. Number 4. An A to Z book. The next one is an A to Z book, which basically just means I'll do a number, random letter generator, which I've already done. I'll pop it here. And the book has to start with that letter. I also have this in here for author, but this is, it'll say A to Z author or something. So the letter that I got was D, which is perfect because the third book that I'm hoping to read for that 30 before 30 vlog that I'm doing is Daughter of Smoke and Bone, which is the first in this series. I've heard great things about this. I read the first book. I read a book by Laini Taylor. I read Strange the Dreamer. I did not pick up the sequel. Not on purpose. But like, I really enjoyed the writing of this one. And I've heard really good things about the series. So I want to know. I want to know what's up. I want to know why people liked this. I have all 3 of them on Audible. And I just want to know what's up, you know? So we're going to give this a shot and see what happens. Do I know what it's about? No. I know that it's about doorways. And there's magic. Honestly, that's it. So we're going to go to this one pretty blind. And I'm okay with that. So this is the one I've chosen for that. Number 5. Read a historical fiction. The next one is to read a historical fiction. So I've rearranged this because this is a fantasy book, but it has historical elements. So that's what we're choosing. And that is A Tempest of Tea. This is by Hafsa Faisal. This is a vampire-esque fantasy mystery story, but it's set in like the roaring 20s time period. So that is where the historical comes in. This is an author I haven't read anything from before, but I've heard really good things, and there's just something about this plot that I find incredibly fascinating, and I want to know. So This one, it follows our main character Archie, who is a criminal mastermind and collector of secrets. She has a tea room that transforms into an illegal blood house at night. And I think something happens and she ends up, there's like a mystery surrounding this place that she works. It says, but when her establishment is threatened, she is forced to strike up an unlikely deal with an alluring adversary to save it. And she can't do that job alone. So she goes on an adventure. I don't know. There's just something about this tea room that sounds fascinating. And I want to know what that's about. So this is my historical book, if you will. Number 6. Goodness, okay. Read a book with a weapon on the cover. The next one is weapon on the cover. Okay, so the one I've chosen is the book that is our book club pick, and that is One for the Money. This is by Janet, Ivanovich, I think. It's the first in the Stephanie Plum series. I think she's a bounty hunter or something like that. Yeah, she needs money and she gets a gig at her sleazy cousin's bail bond company. It's my mother-in-law told me about this. This is why I picked it up. Clearly, it was a movie. I have the movie copy. There's a different cover, a different mass market paperback cover that I've seen. I'll pop it here, where she's very clearly pointing a gun. So, same book, different cover. So that's why we're choosing this one, because it needed to go on here somewhere. I have to read it for that book club. I don't really know a whole lot about it. I've heard it's really funny. It's the first in a series, so if I like it, there's more. This just feels like it'll be like a fun, good time with not a lot of thought process needed. I don't know. We'll see. I don't love the cover. Y'all know I'm not a big fan of the movie covers, but I'm going to see what this is about. Feels goofy. We'll see. Number 7. Oh, goodness, it's tiny. Okay. Oh, a seasonal cover. All right, the next one is a seasonal cover. And so I've chosen Funny Story by Emily Henry, because for me, when I see an Emily Henry book, I think of the summer. I think of just a beach read, which I know is funny because that's one of her books. Also, the spine of this, very floral, very spring to me. She's wearing short sleeves here. Also screams summer. I know he is not really doing that, but we're not talking about that. I don't know. There's just something about this book as a whole, mostly the spine, that gives me like that spring summer vibe. I've technically already started this. I started this in April and I just put it down because it wasn't the focus and I need to get back to it because I really enjoyed it. I'm about 100 pages into it, so not crazy far, which is why I'm putting it back on this list. We're going to get to it, I swear. So this just screams summer to me. There's nothing specific about the cover. It's just like the vibe of the whole thing. Also, Emily Henry is like a summer read for me. Like, I think I've read every single one of her books during the summer at some point. And number 8. Read a fantasy. And the last book is to read a fantasy. So I have put Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas on this list. This is the 3rd book in the Throne of Glass series. I really enjoyed the 2nd book. This one is going to take it into a brand new direction, and I want to know. So I'm really excited. This one is not super thin. We're definitely getting into some of the chunkier books. The first 2 were pretty thin, and now we're getting into the chunkier books. Although, considering her later books, this is chunky, but not ridiculous. This one is about 560 pages. I'm excited. I really enjoyed the last one. I think this will be fun just to dive in and out of. So that is what I've put on for here. I'm not going to tell you anything about what this is about, but the first book follows our main character, Selena Sargothian, which is just a fun name to say, honestly. And she basically gets taken out of prison because she was arrested and put in this trial to become the king's champion, I think is the title. Basically, it's the king's assassin. You vie for a position to be an assassin, and you get paid really handsomely for it. You can live in the castle, but you're at his beck and call, and you kill who he says to kill. So the first book is that trial. This, we've gone some places since then. So I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to dive into the next one. And that's it as far as the books that I would have planned for this month. I'm sure there'll be a Lorraine Heath buddy read somewhere in here. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet because The Return of the Duke, which is I showed you earlier, was the third and final book in a trilogy. So I'm not sure what's next there, but I'm sure something like that will come up. That's my plan right now. So I got everything I wanted to get on this TBR. It was nice to me this month. I'm scared for June. But that's my plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this TBR. As always, let me know if you've read any of the books that I mentioned in today's video or what you're planning or are your reading plans for May. Are you participating in any readathons? Are you just letting the vibe take you? What is your May plan? Tell me things. And if you would like to comment something but you're not sure what to comment, comment lemons for this Emily Henry. I just bought a shirt that has lemons all over it. I'm so excited. Either way, comment lemons if you're not sure what to say. What do you think of this video? And I very much hope that you did. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below if you'd like to be part of this awesome growing family. I've got all my social media down there as well as other fun bookish links. So go check all that out and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.